Hello students, welcome back to Sri Guru College online chemistry classes. This is lecture number 3 on the topic classification of elements and periodicity in their properties. Well students, let's recapitulate the points what we have covered in the last class in a span of 5 minutes. In the last class, you all have come to know regarding the features of modern periodic table, regarding the features, characteristics of modern periodic table, which is also referred as long form of the periodic table, which has displayed over here. Dear students, the modern periodic table, as you all know, come to know that it consists of 18 groups. Vertical columns are called groups. It consists of 18 groups and 7 periods. In the last class, we have covered the characteristics of groups as well as the characteristics of periods. Let's highlight quickly. Regarding the characteristics of a group, the element belonging to each group, they possess a common or a general electronic configuration. Second point, as you go down the group, the atomic radii increases. Point number 3, see, when you look into the elements in a group, the elements in a group, they were separated by a gap of definite atomic numbers. When you take any group from 1 to 18, the elements in a group, they were separated by a gap of definite number of atomic number, a gap of definite atomic number such as 2, 8, 8, 18, 18, 32, which are called magic numbers. Then coming to the regarding the characteristics, last characteristics of a group, as the element in a group that contains same number of electrons in the valence shell, the chemical properties of the first element of the group and last element of the group, which are going to possess the same properties, same characteristics, same chemical properties, since the elements in a group, as they contain same number of valence electron, their chemical properties are going to be similar. Then let's come back to the characteristics of periods. In the last class, that is characteristics regarding groups. Characteristics of groups. Second, characteristics of periods. So, as you know, there are 7 periods. Let's collect the features of this period. So, what are the characteristics of this period? See, the element in a period, as you move from left to right, they do not contain the same number of valence electron. The valence electron in the case of lithium is 1, while that in the case of beryllium is 2, and moving down, boron 3, 4, 5, so on. As the number of electrons in the valence shell changes, the chemical properties are also going to change. One property regarding a period. Second, in all the elements in a period, suppose if you take the second period, lithium, beryllium, boron, carbon, nitrogen, oxygen, fluorine and neon, the elements of second period, the electrons are going to add up, they were going to fill in the same main shell. That is the character number 2 regarding the period. Then character number 3, what it says, On moving from left to right, that means from group number 1 to group number 18, 1 to 18. On moving from left to right in the periodic table, what happens? The metallic properties of the element decreases and the non-metallic character increases. Non-metallic character increases. So these are the main three characteristics of a period. Let collect the still more feature of this periodic table. As the number of elements in a period, they were not same, different. Suppose if you take the first period that contains only 2 elements, second period that contains 8 elements, third period contains again 8 elements. So period number 1, period 2, period 3 are called short periods. They are called short periods. Then coming to the period number 4, period number 4 contains 18 elements. Period number 5 that also contains 18 elements. So which are going to called long periods. They are going to called long periods. And the period number 6 is said to be the longest period containing 32 elements. And the period 7 is incomplete. Period number 7 is incomplete. You can see the 2 series of elements which are placed at the bottom. The 2 series of elements, each series containing 14 elements. Each series containing 14 elements. The first period, so from the first series begins with cerium to lutetium, and the second series begins from thorium to lawrencium. So the first series, cerium to lutetium, this series is called lanthanoid series. This series is called lanthanoid series, and this series belongs to 6th period. You can see atomic number of cerium is 58. That has continued from the 6th period with atomic number lanthanum 57. 57 onwards 58. So the continuation of the 6th period in the first series at the bottom of the periodic table, what is called lanthanoid series. And the second series, what is called actinoid series, and these series of 14 elements called actinoids, they belong to 7th period. After the element actinum, atomic number 89 actinum, and the next thorium with atomic number 90, to lawrencium atomic number 103, 14 elements. So this is what regarding the features of modern periodic table. Come on, in the today's class, let collect information regarding classification of elements, regarding classification of elements based on electronic configuration, on the basis of electronic configuration, Dear students, as you know from your earlier studies that the total elements of the periodic table were classified into mainly 4 blocks. On what basis? It is on the basis of their electronic configuration. The elements are classified into 4 blocks, namely S block elements, P block elements, third D block elements, and fourth F block elements. I repeat, classification of elements on the basis of electronic configuration. Altogether, the known elements in the modern periodic table are classified into 4 blocks: S block, P block, D block, F block elements. S, P, D and F block elements. Let's collect the characteristics of S block, P block, similarly D and F one by one in the today's class. Come on. Characteristics of S block elements. Characteristics of S block elements. Characteristics of S block elements. Let's know what are S block elements. Remember, the elements in which the outer electron enters into S subshell of the outermost orbit. I repeat, the element in which the last electron enter into S subshell of the outermost orbit. Such elements are called S block elements. What are S block elements? Mention their 2 characteristics. 2 mark question it is. So S block elements are those elements in which the last electron enter into S subshell of the outermost orbit. See, S subshell, as you know, S subshell. Yet S subshell can have it contains maximum of 2 electrons. As you know, the capacity of the S subshell from the structure of atom topic you come to know, S capacity is 2 electrons. As S subshell contains 2 electrons, the S block, so S block contains mainly 2 groups. It contains 2 groups. Group number 1 and the second group. I repeat, since S subshell contains 2 electrons, therefore S block that consists of 2 groups, 1 and 2. First group elements, they are called alkali metals, and the second group elements are called alkaline earth metals. I repeat, the elements in which the last electron enters into S subshell of the outermost orbit are called S block elements. Since S subshell can contain maximum of 2 electrons, the S block contains 2 groups. It contains 2 groups, group 1, group 2. Group 1, you can see in the periodic table, group 1. Group 1 elements we say from lithium to francium. Lithium, sodium, potassium, rubidium, cesium and francium, which are said to be alkali metals. From lithium to francium, group 1 elements. And second group elements from beryllium to radium. Beryllium, magnesium, calcium, strontium, barium and radium. So that is the second group elements which are called alkaline earth metals. So the general electronic configuration, main basis is based on their electronic configuration, they were classified. The general electronic configuration of S block elements is NS1 to 2. NS1 to 2. NS1 to 2. NS1, if the electronic configuration is NS1, nothing but alkali metals, they possess NS1 electronic configuration. NS2, that belongs to or that represents the second group element called alkaline earth metals. So this is what the general electronic configuration of S block element is NS1 to 2. NS1 represents group 1 elements which are commonly called alkali metals: lithium, sodium, potassium, rubidium, cesium and francium, and francium is the radioactive element. Then coming to second group element NS2. NS2 is the outer electronic configuration of second group elements which are commonly called as alkaline earth metals, and they begins from beryllium and ends with radium. Beryllium, magnesium, calcium, calcium, strontium, barium and radium. Radium is the radioactive element. Come on, collect further properties. What are the other properties of S block elements? Remember, all the elements of S block are soft metals. They are soft metals. Commonly it appears metals means the property of ductility and malleability that comes in the mind. Commonly it comes. But regarding the point of the characteristics of S block elements, they are soft metals. They are soft metals. And they possess the low melting point and boiling point. Their melting point and boiling point is low. They possess low melting point and boiling point. Coming to the point next, the reactivity of the elements in group 1 and group 2 are S block elements that decreases. The reactivity decreases as you go down the group. The reactivity decreases on moving down the group. Reactivity decreases on moving down the group. The reactivity decreases on moving down the group. Since they are reactive, they do not occur in the free state, do not exist or occur in free state. They do not occur in the free state. So these are all the highlighted characteristics of S block elements. I'll repeat. Based on the electronic configuration, in the modern periodic table, all the elements are classified into mainly 4 blocks: S block, P block, D and F block elements. What are S block elements? The elements in which the last electron enters into S subshell of the outermost orbit. S subshell of the outermost orbit are called S block elements. And since S subshell contains 2 electrons, the S block consists of 2 groups. Group number 1, second group. First group and the second group. First group electronic configuration NS1 called alkali metals. Second group electronic configuration NS2 called alkaline earth metals. Overall, the general electronic configuration is, one more question will appear in the test or examination. Write the general electronic configuration of S block element. Answer is NS1 to 2. NS1 to 2. NS1 to 2. If it is, what is the outer or general electronic configuration of group 2? If particularly asked, it is NS2. If group 1, general electronic configuration of group 1, NS1. This 1 that indicates the elements of group 1, they contain one electron in their outermost shell, and this group 2, all the elements in group 2, they contain 2 electrons in the valence shell. As in the last video we said, all the elements in a group, they possess similar chemical properties because they contain same number of electrons in their valence shell. They contain same electrons in their valence shell. Coming to the characteristics further, all the elements of S block, S block as well, S block as it contains 2 groups, group 1 and group 2, they are soft metals and they possess low melting point and boiling point, and reactivity of those elements, lithium to francium, beryllium to radium, that decreases on moving down the group. Next, since they are reactive, they do not exist in the free state. And one more point to add here, most of these elements, they form ionic compound. Most of the elements of S block, most of these elements form ionic compounds. Most of these elements form ionic compounds, and except here you have an exception, except lithium in the group 1 and beryllium in the group 2, they form covalent compounds. Except these two, you have exception that we shall collect in the further discussion. They form covalent compounds. So these are the important characteristics of S block elements. I conclude, what are S block elements? The elements in which the last electron enter into S subshell are called S block elements. S block consists of 2 groups. Since S subshell contains 2 electrons, that it consists of 2 groups. Group 1, alkali metals. Group 2 elements are called alkaline earth metals. The general electronic configuration of S block elements is NS1 to 2. Further, all these elements of S block are soft metals. They are highly reactive with low melting point and boiling point. Since they are reactive, they do not occur in the free state, and the tendency of reactivity that goes on decreases on moving down the group. In group 1, lithium is most reactive, then sodium, then calcium, and so on. Trend decreases. And similarly, beryllium is most reactive than magnesium, and magnesium is more reactive than calcium, so on. The reactivity trend decreases on moving down the group. Then most of these elements, whether you take group 1 or group 2, group 1 elements, they form ionic compounds with the loss of 1 electron. Group 1 alkali metals, they form the ionic compounds with loss of 1 electron except lithium. And group 2 elements, alkaline earth metals, they form ionic compounds with loss of 2 electrons except beryllium. Here is an exception which we collect in the further discussion. Lithium in the group 1 and beryllium in the group 2, they usually form covalent compounds. Come on, after collecting the characteristics of S block, let collect further the characteristics of P block elements. What are P block elements? The elements in which the last electron enters into P subshell of the outermost orbit are called P block elements. Since P subshell can have maximum of 6 electrons, the P block of the periodic table consists of 6 groups. Since the maximum number of electrons in the P subshell are 6, hence there are 6 groups in the P block of the periodic table, numbering from group 13 to group 18. Group 13, boron family. 14, carbon family. 15, nitrogen family. 16, oxygen family. 17th fluorine family, 18th noble gases. Group 13 to group 18. The general electronic configuration, remember one more question. What is the general electronic configuration of p block? Answer: ns to the power 2, ns2, np to the power 1 to 6 can be read as ns2, np 1 to 6. The general electronic configuration of p block elements is ns2, np 1 to 6. So if you go in particular with what is the electronic configuration of 13th group, it is ns2, 13th group, outer electronic configuration, ns2, np1, 14th ns2, np2, 15th ns2, np3, so on. 18th general electronic configuration of 18th group is ns2, np6. So this is what regarding the electronic configuration of p block element. Further, what are the characteristics of these p block elements? The p block elements, they consist of metals, non-metals, and metalloid. What p block elements consist of? The p block element, it may be a metal, may be a non-metal, or it may be a metalloid. Next, same, the trend of reactivity, the reactivity of elements decreases down the group. The reactivity character, same as in S block, the same trend is followed. It decreases even in p block, also the reactivity trend of elements decreases and moving down the group. Coming to the continuation, what about metallic and non-metallic character? See, non-metallic character of p block elements, non-metallic character of elements increases along the period. Then what about metallic? See, metallic character of elements increases on moving down the group. So these 2 points you can put together. Metallic character along the period increases. When metallic character increases, it is understood. When non-metallic character along the period increases, understood, metallic character decreases. So coming to the next, metallic character increases down the group. What does it mean? Non-metallic character decreases. So vice versa. Then next, the elements of p block, they form mostly covalent compounds. Usually they form covalent compounds. So coming to the point next, some of the groups, these groups of the p block element, some groups in the p block element, they were popularly known with common terms such as if you take 18th group elements, 18th group elements are called noble gases. They are called noble gases. They are called noble gases with configuration, electronic configuration ns2 np6, with electronic configuration of noble gases ns2 np6. 17th group elements, they are called halogens. 17th group elements are called halogens. That means sea salt forming elements. The main source of 17th group elements, fluorine, chlorine, bromine. You can see fluorine, chlorine, bromine, iodine and acetone. 17th group element. The main source of these elements is the seawater. As seawater is salty in a taste, which contains most of the fluorides, chlorides, iodides, bromides, etc. Thus, these are called halogens. Halogens means sea salt forming elements. Then coming to the 16th group. 16th group elements are called chalcogens. What are the 16th group elements? You can see 16th group element begins with oxygen, sulfur, selenium, tellurium, polonium. Oxygen, sulfur, selenium, tellurium, polonium, all these are the elements belonging to 16th group. These are known as chalcogens. They are also called chalcogens. So what these chalcogens? Chalcogens are nothing but ore forming elements. As you know, the metal iron, when you take, it doesn't exist in the free state in the nature. It exists in the oxide form, it exists in the sulfide form. Therefore, most of the ores of the metals as exist as oxide, sulfide. Therefore, the 16th group elements, they are called chalcogens, which simply means ore forming elements. What is the meaning of chalcogens? Chalcogens are nothing but ore forming elements. This is what brief regarding the p block elements. And last one more point to add, before we go to s block elements, the s block elements are placed at the left of the periodic table, and p block elements are placed towards the right of the periodic table, and combinedly s and p block elements, they are called representative elements. What these are called? These are called representative elements. These are called representative elements. What are representative elements? The S block elements and P block elements are combinedly called as representative elements. Now, let's go to collect the characteristics of D block elements. Come on. Let's collect the characteristics of D block elements. What are D block elements? Same repetition as we covered for S block and P block. Slight change here. D block elements. The elements in which the last electron enter into d subshell of penultimate orbit. So here the term, I repeat, the last electron enters in the d subshell of penultimate orbit. Penultimate orbit means orbit last but one. So the elements in which the last electron enters into the d subshell of penultimate orbit, d subshell of penultimate, last but one. If the outer shell n value is 4, then the electron enter into 3d. Electron enter into 3d subshell. If the outer shell n value is 5, then the electron enter into 4d. That is what? The electron enters in the d subshell of penultimate orbit. Penultimate orbit, nothing but last but one orbit are called d block elements. Even these d block elements are also called, they were also called transition elements. D block elements are also called transition elements. Transition elements. The simple reason is regarding their placement. Why these are called transition elements? Since the placement of D blocks in the modern periodic table is in between the S and P block element. In between the S and P block element, those are called transition elements, which you can see in the periodic table. Hope you have an idea. So S block elements, group 1 and group 2, LHS left of the periodic table. Group 13 to group 18, just now we collected characteristics, P block elements, 13 to 18 P block, 1 to S block. So the groups numbered from 3 to 12. Group number 3, 4, 5, so and so up to 12. So group numbered from 3 to 12, these are called D block elements, which are called a transition. Why they are called a transition? Because you can see group 3 to group 12, since they are placed between S block and P block, these are called a transition. Transition regarding their placement, as well as they are similar in some of the properties with respect to S block as well as P block. The elements which shows a metallic character as well as the non-metallic character, that is why the reason those are also called as transition. Transition shows the properties of S block as well as P block. That's why metallic character, non-metallic character they possess. That's why those are called transition elements. Then what is the general electronic configuration? General electronic configuration. General electronic configuration. General electronic configuration of D block elements is, general electronic configuration of D block elements is n minus 1 D 1 to 10, n minus 1 D power 1 to 10 ns 2, I mean 1 to 2. What is the general electronic configuration of D block element? The general electronic configuration of D block element or transition elements is n minus 1 D to the power 1 to 10 ns 1 to 2. Next, what are the further characteristics? Further characteristics of D block elements. Most of the D block elements are metals. Most of them are metals. Most of them are metals. Most of them are metals. Next, they possess high melting point and boiling point with few exception. They possess high melting point and boiling point with exception. With few exception. Such as mercury, when you take, it is the metal, known metal which exists in the liquid state at the room temperature. And if you take the gallium, which is in the 13th group, if you go with the exception is with the mercury. Next, they show variable oxidation state. The elements of D block, nothing but transition, they show variable oxidation state. They show variable oxidation state. And the compounds of transition elements are colored. Compounds of transition elements are colored. They form colored compounds. The compounds of transition elements are colored. They form colored complexes. And most of the ions are colored in nature due to the presence of one or more unpaired electrons. Coming to the property next, these elements, they show the catalytic property. Catalytic property. They show catalytic property, and which can be used as a catalyst in the industrial processes such as iron, molybdenum, chromium, nickel, etc. Iron in the Haber's process, nickel in the hydrogenation of oils, vanadium in the contact process, different industrial processes where the most of the D block elements, they were used as a catalyst. They were used as catalyst in the industries because of their catalytic property. And character, they provide why they show a catalytic property? Because when they were powdered, finely powdered, they provide a larger surface area by which their rate of reaction increases, hence they show the catalytic character. So these are all the main important highlights, are the important characteristics of D block elements. Let's collect the classification or characteristics of the fourth block or the last block of the periodic table under the heading F block elements. Let's collect the properties of F block elements. And one more point to add with the characteristics of D block elements, as group 11 when you take, which I have not written there, but recall group 11, when I take the group 11, so copper, silver, gold. Group 11th group elements are called quinase metals. These are called quinase metals. Group 11, copper, silver, gold, quinase metals. When you take the group 12, which is zinc, cadmium, mercury. What are the elements of group 12? So zinc, cadmium and mercury. These are called pseudo transition elements. Group 11 elements are called quinase metals, namely copper, silver and gold. Group 12th elements are called pseudo transition elements. Why they are called pseudo transition elements? In spite they are placed in the transition elements. As per the definition, the transition elements should contain the half-filled, partially filled d orbitals, but when you take the d orbitals of zinc, it is completely filled. So 3d10 4s2, 4d10 4s2, 5d10 4s2, so 5d10 6s2, 4d10 5s2 of cadmium, zinc 3d10 4s2. They contain completely filled d orbitals by which they are called pseudo transition elements, even though they are placed in the transition elements, nothing but D block elements. Coming to the next F block. What are F block elements? The elements in which the last electron enter into the F subshell of penultimate orbit. Last electron enters into the F subshell of anti-penultimate n minus 2. In the earlier D block, penultimate n minus 1, anti-penultimate n minus 2, third to the outermost orbit. Anti-penultimate orbit are called F block elements. The elements in which the last electron enters into the F subshell of anti-penultimate orbit are called F block elements. F block elements are also referred as inner transition elements. They are also referred as inner transition elements. Next, the electronic configuration of F block elements. Remember, n minus 2, F 1 to 14, n minus 1, D 0 to 1, ns 2. The general electronic configuration of F block elements is n minus 2, F 1 to 14, n minus 1, D 0 to 1, ns 2. Further, these F block elements, they consist of set of 14 elements. They consist of two series, each series containing a set of 14 elements. F block that consists of two series. And each series contain 14 elements. The first series of the F block elements is called lanthanoids. The 14 elements are from cerium to lutetium. The second series of the F block element is the actinoids and are from thorium to lawrencium Lr, cerium to lutetium forms lanthanoid series. And the second series of F block element, thorium to lawrencium, that forms the actinoids. This lanthanoid series, it belongs to 6th period. Lanthanoid series, cerium to lutetium, that belongs to 6th period after the element lanthanum, in which the electrons enters into 4f subshell. Then the actinoid series from thorium to lawrencium, this belongs to 7th period after the element actinum, so in which the electrons enters into 5f subshell. The electrons enters into 5f subshell in the actinoid series, 4f subshell in the lanthanoid series, and the elements after uranium, the elements which were discovered after uranium, those were called transuranium elements. The elements after uranium, those were discovered, those are called transuranium uranium elements. But in the F block you can see the naming is done as per the nomenclature. After the uranium there are elements with symbol Np, which represents one of the planet Neptunium. If you take Pu, which represents the name of a scientist, plutonium. If you take Am, americium, that indicates the name of the popular cities, americium. Then Cf, that represents californium. And Es stands for a name of a scientist, einsteinium. So such how as per the IUPAC nomenclature, some of the elements, symbols, they represents the popular personalities and the well-known objects in the universe. Next, further characteristics if we collect regarding the F block elements, most of the F block elements are heavy. They are heavy metals. They are heavy metals with high melting point and boiling point. And most of actinides are radioactive. After the uranium including is a radioactive one. After uranium all are radioactive. Most of actinides are radioactive in nature. Next, they show variable oxidation state. They do show variable oxidation states. Even they form colored compounds. Even F block elements, they form colored compounds. These are the important characteristics of F block elements. Lastly, before I conclude today's class, the total elements of the periodic table based on the electronic configuration are classified into S, P, D and F block elements, what we have collected in detail just now. And in the next video we will go to collect the nomenclature of the elements with atomic number more than 100, how to name them according to IUPAC rule. We shall look in the next video. Thank you.